Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. And it's now time for your WWE Money in the Bank 2015 review. This pay-per-view, in my personal opinion, was alright. Wasn't bad, wasn't great. It had some good points and it had some pretty bad points. But I'll go ahead and I'll get into that with you guys right now. So, first match on the card. We had Sheamus defeating all the guys in the Money in the Bank ladder match, becoming the Money in the Bank winner. As we all know, it was Neville, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, Kane, and Dolph Ziggler. This was a very shocking end to a decent match, I have to say. I really enjoyed the Money in the Bank ladder match itself. It had some really good points in it, had some really good spots. Adrian Neville was great. Kofi Kingston did some decent spots too, but he was a beat-up toy throughout the entire match. So I don't even understand the point of Kofi Kingston being in this match whatsoever. It's not like anyone believed he was going to win that match to begin with. He didn't even have a chance to win that. Roman Reigns was, in my opinion, I might get shot down for this because there are Roman haters out there, Roman Reigns haters. My personal opinion, I feel that he was doing pretty well in this match. Again, still, I think he needs to work on improving some wrestling skills, doing what John Cena does now. He's really changed a lot of his wrestling maneuvers in his matches. And I actually will get into point with that later on in this video. But Roman Reigns, he was pretty impressive. He did some cool stuff in this match. Dolph Ziggler, he was another good one. He was very impressive. I mean, he had some moments in this. Randy Orton, he was just RKOing anybody in his sight. So, I mean, but it was pretty logical he wasn't going to win. I don't know where they're going with Randy Orton. He has no build on him whatsoever, meaning like storyline build up on him. No great feud. He's just kind of floating around and has really nothing to nothing to work with here. Sheamus, he had some moments in there. I mean, he was actually the least impressive in my personal opinion. He didn't really, from my knowledge, I don't remember him doing a whole lot of great maneuvers or even having any memorable moments in this match outside of winning the fucking Money in the Bank briefcase. So, ironically, he's the guy that wins, and he didn't even have hardly any memorable moments in this match, not even one to my knowledge. I mean, he did do his, scissor kick to the opponent, his brogue kick to Dolph Ziggler, which I don't understand why Dolph Ziggler can't get one up on him, but whatever. They're fucking done with Dolph Ziggler these days. They haven't done anything good with him forever. He's a good talent, and they don't do nothing with him. So, in the end, Roman Reigns tries to climb up the ladder. He looked like he had this match won. He powerbombed, I believe, I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it was Adrian Neville. He powerbombed Adrian Neville from the ring outside to the outside, and having a dog pile on top of everybody. So, I mean, he threw him, and they all caught him, and they all fell down like a ton of bricks. And then he was climbing, and you'd think, hey, that's the end of the match. He's got the win. It was, in my personal opinion, I think that was probably the best way to end it. And then out of nowhere, they had Bray Wyatt interfere. He pops out of nowhere, and he screws Roman Reigns, and Sheamus wins. After Neville tries his best to stop him from getting the briefcase, but fails to do so. What a fucking dumb ending. That's all that has to be said at this point with my viewpoint on this match. parts in it, but a fucking dumb ending. And a hell of a screw job, to say the least. With a pointless feud with Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. Don't understand why. The only thing they could say on Monday Night Raw tonight is go ahead and state, well, Bray Wyatt decided, hey, he wanted to go after Roman Reigns because he felt he was screwed out of being in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I mean, they did have a match with each other, but again, kind of lame way of starting off a feud. They had no confrontation with each other. It was just a match. That was the only kind of confrontation you could say they had, and that's it. So that was a pretty shitty way of doing things. Now, here's something that would have been interesting, and I'm going to give credit to JD from New York 206 on this one. He stated what would have been really cool is, Bray Wyatt came out of nowhere, shoved Roman Reigns off the ladder, and captured the briefcase and went home with it, pretty much. I think that would have left a lot of controversy, and I think that would have made things more interesting. Giving more reason for Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt to actually have a match and make it for the briefcase. That would have been a smart idea. I mean, he was unofficial, he would have had the briefcase, but nonetheless, it would have made more sense for them to have a match at Battleground than it is right now. Right now, it makes absolutely no sense. So that's my whole thing on that match alone. So I'm going to move on to the next match because the next two matches, oh god. Nikki Bella defeats Paige for the Divas Championship. Oh, and let me go back to the Money in the Bank ladder match. The Money in the Bank ladder match got a 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. That's how I felt about that match. Nikki Bella and Paige, 1 star out of 5. Complete garbage. Didn't really like the action in it. Was pretty much looking on the internet. Didn't really give a fuck. And they did the same retarded thing with Brie Bella and Nikki Bella. They keep switching these bastards back and forth to heel, babyface. Make up your fucking mind, Vince. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the next match after that was the Intercontinental Championship. Ryback and Big Show is actually having a pretty decent match for two guys that are really big and buffed up. Mostly Ryback. But they weren't having a bad match. My personal opinion, I think the match was a 3 out of 5 stars if it wasn't for Miz interfering in it. And for that, I give it a 2 out of 5 stars. So, personally, I think the match itself was a load of waste of time. Could have been done on Monday Night Raw, and that could have been it. And then had this match on the pay-per-view and made it a triple threat match, which probably is what's going to happen here. But Miz having a triple threat match with those two guys is going to be funny if they actually do it. But whether that happens or not, who really cares? The match is a load of crap anyway, and that's thanks to the Miz fucking that all up. The next match after that was the fucking main event. It should have been the main event, my personal opinion, and that's John Cena and Kevin Owens. John Cena walked away victorious, but at the end of the day, Kevin Owens looked like $1 million. So did John Cena, even though he was being helped out of the arena. These two guys did a great job with each other. They helped each other look great in this match. It was back and forth. I said to myself, I don't care who wins. Even if a John Cena wins the fucking match, I don't give a shit. John Cena did a Hurricanrana. He did the springboard stunner. I mean, even though it's not the greatest maneuver, but it's a change of pace and it's a little bit different. The constant kicking out of each other's finishers. Kevin Owens with the jump from one side of the rope and then jumping to the corner turnbuckle and then doing a line salt. That was unbelievable. I love that move he does in the ring. Makes him look absolutely awesome. Uh, and it was back and forth all the way around. It was a classic. Once again, another classic. 5 out of 5 stars. This didn't miss a beat. Everything in this match was well put together. Both of these guys did a great job placing each other in this match, helping each other look good for one another, and just making each other look stronger than ever. Giving this match even more reason to have a third one. And I'll tell you what, again, I say this, I don't give a crap who wins this match in the third one if they have a rematch, which I'm very certain they will, especially the fact how the match ended. John Cena went for a handshake, and Kevin Owens playing the heel character perfectly. Shook his hand, kicked him in the gut or the groin or what have you, and he powerbombed him on the apron. I think that's outstanding. I think at this point it should be John Cena versus Kevin Owens, title for title. That's what I think this should get to. I think it should be for the NXT Championship and United States title, and Kevin Owens walks away with both belts. That's how I view it. But they might not do that, but who really gives a damn? If they do have another rematch, they should at least, if they don't have a title for title match, they should have a major stipulation match, like a last man standing, Hell in a Cell, maybe steel cage. I don't know, any kind of way to make this a little bit more interesting. Now that they've shown they could do back-to-back classic matches with each other, I really would like to see them raise the stakes just a little bit. So I think this is going to be a really good third match these two are going to have. I think they're really going to impress a lot of people, and again have another classic match. I think these two guys work very well with each other, and if anything, they should have Kevin Owens and John Cena have the main event for Battleground if they have a rematch at that point, at that pay-per-view, excuse me. So, that match was the show stealer. Once again, it stole the fucking show. The next match on the card... Oh yeah, and another thing, John Cena did a move that looked like the Canadian Destroyer, but was kind of modified a bit. It looked a little like Rey Mysterio's move on top of it. So, I mean, it was really interesting. He did a lot of interesting moves as well as Kevin Owens. Excellent match. Again, 5 out of 5 stars. Hands down. Primetime Players defeated the New Day for the tag team titles. Who really gives a crap about this match? They could have done this on a Monday Night Raw, or better yet, it would have made it even more memorable and actually have more of a purpose if they would have won with a 3-on-2 disadvantage against them and Primetime Players still won. I mean, the match itself for Elimination Chamber and that tag team title match event was actually really good, and they should have just went with the Primetime Players to win that match. And all this was a joke. I was not into it. It was not that interesting. It was very slow, very dull. And again, like the Divas match, I was staring into my phone. I didn't even care for it. So this match, I give it maybe a 1.5 out of 5 stars. This was garbage. The next match, the main event, the ladder match for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Seth Rollins retains, beating Dean Ambrose. We all know for a fact, in reality, Dean Ambrose was the champion. He won that freaking match at Elimination Chamber. I don't care what the hell they say. He pinned the man 1, 2, 3 before there was ever a mention that he was disqualified. So, in my mind, Dean Ambrose was the champion, but they make Seth Rollins the guy who's the champ. So what? Don't matter. This match was very slow, very dull at some points, and on top of that, made an insult to Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho's ladder match at No Mercy of 2008. They just insulted that match completely, because they really copied this match in some way or another. One, Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels has had a long history, years of build-up, years of on and off rivalry with each other, And Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they've been having a rivalry for only a year, and they made it like it was for 5 years or something. On top of it, Dean Ambrose got his ass kicked all over the place. He got his knee messed up. He was hardly able to walk, and you'd think, after the beating he took, you'd have him at least win the fucking match. No? Okay. Well, then at least have the match being close. Okay, if you're not going to do that, have Seth Rollins just climb the freaking ladder and capture the belt. No, instead, they have those two tie up on top of the ladder. Both of them grab the belt and land on the mat, and because of the fall, Seth Rollins had more an advantage over Dean Ambrose than Dean Ambrose of the title. He had more possession of the belt, I should say. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Seth Rollins had more of a possession of the belt when they landed than Dean Ambrose. And actually, from what I noticed, Dean Ambrose only had one arm or one hand on the belt, while Seth Rollins had both of his hands on the belt, which gave him more of an advantage over Dean Ambrose in that situation. So it was kind of a pathetic, ending there, in my personal opinion. If you do a comparison, if you go back and you watch Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels match in 2008 at No Mercy, you will see it's very similar to the way they had it, only that match was a classic. This one was not even close. Nice try, though, but no cigar in my personal opinion. I give this match a 3 out of 5 stars. The pay-per-view itself, a 3 at best, maybe. The only thing that saves this fucking pay-per-view, really, is the Money in the Bank ladder match and the Kevin Owens and John Cena match. Everything else on this show was just... it was just there. That's it. Two great matches, or at least one great match, one pretty good match that was pay-per-view quality. Another match that was, pay-per-view quality, but wasn't it didn't meet the expectations I think that most people were expecting, and it didn't meet mine either. I was expecting more out of this. But it was good. I mean, I'm not going to say it was horrible, but it was like a one-sided affair, and yet it looked like they were trying to make it like, Dean Ambrose was this guy that was going to get so close but not get nothing at all. And that's all they do with Dean Ambrose, and it just, if you're going to keep doing that, what's the point in putting him in the main event? Get him to capture the fucking belt, not have him go ahead and lose the freaking thing every single time he gets a chance to win. I think that they missed on the opportunity with Dean Ambrose winning the title. I think that Dean Ambrose at Elimination Chamber should have won and then lost it to Seth Rollins at the Money in the Bank ladder match. That's the way it should have went down. But they just say that Dean Ambrose wasn't the champion even though he was carrying the belt, and Seth Rollins was technically, officially the champion, so to say. But anyway, yeah, okay pay-per-view, I guess. I think Elimination Chamber was better than this. Payback, I think, was probably better than this, too, in some instances. And in some instances, it wasn't. But Money in the Bank, I'd have to say last year's was better than this year's. By a couple of inches, maybe. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible, but it needed some work to be better than what it was. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments and opinions of what you thought about the pay-per-view of Money in the Bank of 2015. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because I'm back and I'm ready to do some more videos. Thank you very much. And don't forget to catch my my split character, Philip, the wrestling reviewer. He will be doing a video sometime this week. And I hope you guys have enjoyed those videos with him, because I'm going to be releasing one pretty soon. Thank you, and have a great night, guys. Bye.